Mephisto versus Lucifer, who will win? In an endless void of space, where dimensions overlap like thin layers of fabric, there exists an ancient entity named Mephisto. He resides in a pocket dimension that he created and maintained with his iron will and boundless power. That dimension is called Hell, a dark place with red flames burning constantly, illuminating the sharp stone caves and boiling lava rivers. The air here is heavy, carrying a strong smell of sulfur, causing any lost soul to feel fear spreading from the depths of their hearts. Mephisto appears as a tall man, skin red as blood, eyes shining with golden light, and curved horns on his head. He wears a long black cloak, lined with fire, fluttering in the hot winds from hell. He is not a true devil like Lucifer or Mephistopheles of folklore, but has borrowed his name and form to exploit human superstition and fear. With a crooked smile that reveals sharp teeth, he often whispers seductive words into the ears of the weak, turning them into tools for his plans. His power is overwhelming, surpassing that of most celestial gods the universe has ever known. He can perform magical feats that even the Sorcerer Supreme would be amazed by. In his own dimension, he manipulates reality with ease, turning stone into gold, or causing souls to suffer eternally in the fires of hell. However, his ability is limited. He can only make changes within a small range, and larger changes are often nullified by other entities. His power is strongest when he is close to the pocket dimension, but the farther away he is, the weaker he becomes, like a flame slowly extinguished in the cold winds of space. One day, in the caverns of hell, Mephisto sat on a throne made from the bones of traitors, watching through a glittering crystal ball. The ball reflected the image of Earth, where humanity was in chaos. He laughed loudly, his voice echoing like thunder. "They fear me, and my fear feeds my power." Beside him was a being he had created, the first Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, with a burning skull and hot iron chains wrapped around his torso. Johnny stood motionless, his fiery eyes staring into space, awaiting his master's command. Far away, in another dimension, there exists a near-omnipotent being called the Morningstar, formerly known as Samael. He is the Fallen One, a fallen angel with the power to reshape the entire universe at will. He is a handsome man, with golden hair, deep blue eyes like the night sky, and giant black wings that can cover an entire planet. He wears a pure white suit, but inside is hidden the power of destruction, enough to create new universes and the life that resides in them. The Morningstar has the ability to separate the soul from the body of any being, or bring them back at will. Combined with the power of his brother, a mysterious being named Michael, he becomes truly omnipotent. There are only a few beings in the entire multiverse who can match him, counted on the fingers of one hand. He wanders through dimensions, seeking freedom and challenge, unbound by any rules. An unexpected event occurs when the two dimensions of Mephisto's hell and the Morningstar's domain accidentally collide due to a cosmic rift. In that moment, Mephisto feels an unfamiliar power entering his domain. He stands up from his throne, eyes narrowed, observing through the crystal ball. The image that appears is the Morningstar stepping through the rift, black wings spread wide, shining with a brilliant golden light. "Who dares to invade my hell?" Mephisto growls, his voice echoing through the caves. The Morningstar smiles, his voice soft but authoritative. "I am not an invader, but a traveler." "Your dimension is interesting, Mephisto. I have heard of you for a long time." Mephisto smirks, summoning Johnny Blaze to his side. Ghost Rider charged, chains of fire swinging, but the Morningstar merely waved his hand, ripping Johnny's soul from his body, sending him crashing to the ground. "You are strong, but not strong enough to touch me," he said, his eyes glinting. In Mephisto's pocket dimension, the air was filled with the smell of sulfur and the screams of imprisoned souls. The crimson light from the lava rivers reflected off the jagged cliffs, casting distorted shadows that danced on the cave walls. Mephisto stood on a throne made of bones, his golden eyes glittering as he watched the crystal ball before him. The image of the Morningstar appeared, a being with giant black wings, golden hair that shone like the sun, and a pure white suit that contrasted with the darkness of hell. The cosmic rift was still widening, and the light from the Morningstar's dimension filtered through, creating streaks of light that sparkled like shooting stars. Mephisto tilted his head, a smirk revealing sharp teeth. "You dare trespass on my domain, traveler?" His voice echoed, like the sound of breaking stone in a deep cave. He raised his hand, summoning Johnny Blaze, the first Ghost Rider. Johnny's flaming skull glowed in the darkness, his eyes a fiery red, the hot iron chains that wrapped around his body clanged. "Destroy him," Mephisto commanded, pointing at the Morningstar. The Morningstar stood still, his wings fluttering, sending gusts of wind through the cave. "I have not come to fight, Mephisto, but if you wish to test your strength, I am ready." His voice was deep, carrying a power that shook the space around him. Johnny charged, the chains swinging like a fiery snake, but the Morningstar only waved his hand lightly. A golden light exploded, ripping Johnny's soul from his body. The fiery skull fell, the chains falling away, leaving only a pile of ash. Mephisto narrowed his eyes, sensing the intruder's overwhelming power. He stood up, his black cloak lined with flames fluttering. "You are stronger than I thought, Fallen One. But this is my hell." He raised his hands, manipulating the reality of his dimension. The surrounding cliffs began to shift, coalescing into massive walls, trapping the Morningstar in a stone cage. Lava rose from the floor, smoking, intent on swallowing him. The Morningstar smiled, his blue eyes glowing. He spread his wings, golden light radiating like a miniature sun, dissolving the stone cage. The lava solidified, turning to dust before his power. "You may manipulate reality here, Mephisto, but I shape the universe." He stepped forward, each step shaking the ground, the screaming souls in the hellfires falling silent, as if afraid of his power. Mephisto, though angry, realized that direct confrontation was futile. He had been defeated by more powerful beings, Galactus, a hulking figure in gleaming silver armor, or even Franklin Richards, a child with messy blonde hair and innocent eyes. He decided to change tactics. "What do you want, Samael?" he asked, his voice softening, sitting back on the throne. "Are you just wandering around showing off your power?" The Morningstar retracted his wings, the light fading. "I seek the truth, Mephisto. The universe is changing, and beings like us must know our place. You may be the Lord of Hell, but you cannot touch what I have seen." He turned and walked toward the cosmic rift. "Remember, I am not your enemy, but if you stand in my way, this hell will fall." Mephisto watched, his eyes glittering with calculation. He knew the Morningstar was too powerful, but in his own dimension, he still had the advantage. "We will meet again, Fallen One," he whispered, his crystal ball flashing, reflecting the image of Earth, his next target. Mephisto did not wait long. After the Morningstar left, he gathered his strength, opening a giant portal from hell that led straight to Earth. The portal appeared in the sky above New York, a fiery red vortex, with black smoke billowing out like ink. The people below panicked, their screams echoing through the neon-lit streets. The skyscrapers reflected the fire from the portal, as if the entire city was engulfed in a nightmare. From the portal, thousands of evil spirits poured out, distorted black figures with sharp claws and glowing red eyes. They flew, screaming, attacking any living creature in their path. Mephisto stepped through the portal, his tall figure, his black cloak fluttering, his horns glittering in the moonlight. He spread his arms, manipulating reality, causing the streets to crack open, lava to rise from the ground, turning cars into piles of red-hot iron. "The earth will kneel before me," he roared, his voice echoing like thunder. He summoned Robbie Reyes, the second Ghost Rider. Robbie appeared in a burning car, the engine roaring like a wild beast. His fiery eyes were blazing, the tires leaving burning tracks on the road. "Destroy them all," Mephisto commanded. Robbie drove off, pulling a tornado of fire, crashing into the crowd of evil spirits to control them, but also causing more chaos. Suddenly, a silver light flashed from the horizon. The Silver Surfer rushed forward, his surfboard sparkling like a star, cutting through the night sky. "Mephisto, you're causing trouble again," the surfer shouted, firing a beam of power cosmic energy, scattering dozens of evil spirits. He landed, his silver skin reflecting the fire, his emotionless eyes staring at Mephisto. "Leave Earth, or I will destroy you." Mephisto laughed loudly, raising his hand to manipulate reality. The air around the Silver Surfer turned to hellfire, enveloping him in a molten cage. But the surfer, with the power of the power cosmic, broke through the flames, charging at Mephisto. The two entities clashed, each strike sending shockwaves that shook the city. Buildings collapsed, glass rained down, and people scattered under the blood-red sky. Meanwhile, the Morningstar watched from his dimension, his black wings fluttering. He did not intervene, but his deep blue eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Mephisto, you brought this upon yourself," he whispered, looking through a portal to the chaos on Earth. The battle on Earth intensified. Mephisto, powerful as he was in manipulating reality, began to feel the pressure from the Silver Surfer. Each bolt of power cosmic energy fired from the surfer's surfboard shook the space around Mephisto, weakening the very fabric of the portal to hell. The evil spirits began to disintegrate, their screams fading into the wind as it whistled through the deserted streets. Suddenly, a soft light appeared in the middle of the battlefield. Franklin Richards, a boy with messy blonde hair and blue pajamas, stepped out of a nearby park. His innocent eyes sparkled, but within them was a power that could change the universe. Franklin had not intended to join the battle. He had just been caught up in it while playing in his backyard. "You guys are too noisy," he said, his clear voice echoing through the explosions and flames. Mephisto turned around, his golden eyes narrowing. He recognized Franklin, the boy who had nullified his powers in the past. "You," Mephisto growled, raising his hand to summon a tornado of fire to swallow the boy. But Franklin only raised his small hand, and a transparent bubble of reality surrounded him, Mephisto and the Silver Surfer. Within the bubble, all of Mephisto's powers vanished. The hellfires died, the portal collapsed, and the evil spirits turned into colorful balloons, floating in the sky. The Silver Surfer was stunned, his surfboard lowered, the silver light fading. "Franklin, what are you doing?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Franklin smiled, his cheeks flushed. "I just want everyone to stop fighting." The boy waved his hand, and Mephisto found himself trapped in an invisible glass cage, unable to manipulate reality. He pounded on the walls, but each blow only created harmless ripples. From his own dimension, the Morningstar watched, his black wings fluttering in surprise. "A child, stronger than me?" he whispered. He tried to intervene, reaching out to rip Franklin's soul away, but the boy only laughed. Franklin's soul not only returned, but multiplied, creating dozens of tiny versions of himself, which danced around Mephisto, driving him crazy. Mephisto turned to trickery. He created a magical candy that sparkled and smelled sweet. "Franklin, take this and let me go," he said, his voice soft and coaxing. But Franklin shook his head. "I don't eat candy from strangers." The boy waved his hand, and the glass cage around Mephisto transformed into a colorful flower garden, leaving him helpless. As Franklin neutralized Mephisto, a giant shadow covered the sky of New York. Galactus, the planet devourer, appeared. His colossal figure, hundreds of meters tall, was covered in sparkling silver armor, his towering helmet reflecting the light of distant stars. His eyes were bright, devoid of emotion, as if the entire universe was just a feast waiting for him to enjoy. "Mephisto, you dare to disrupt the order of the universe." His voice echoed like thunder, shaking the entire space. Galactus raised his hand, sucking energy from Mephisto's pocket dimension. The gates of hell began to collapse completely, the lava flows dried up, and the evil spirits dissipated like mist. Mephisto, trapped in Franklin's flower garden, screamed helplessly. He tried to manipulate reality, but Galactus's power was too great, draining the energy from his domain. "You cannot," Mephisto shouted, but his voice was fading like a dying flame. The Silver Surfer flew up, facing Galactus. "Sir, please stop. The Earth does not deserve to be destroyed because of Mephisto's actions." The surfer raised his hand, firing a power cosmic beam, but Galactus only waved his hand, sending the surfer flying back miles, crashing into a skyscraper, causing it to collapse into rubble. Mephisto, his black robes lined with flames and his curved horns now slightly distorted, took a few steps back. He felt his power weaken after Franklin's intervention, the pocket dimension shaking as if it was about to collapse. "I will not tolerate this insult," he growled, his golden eyes flashing with hatred. He raised his hand, trying to open the portal back to hell. A crimson vortex appeared, black smoke billowing out like ink on paper. Galactus, his giant body now shrunk but still gleaming with silver armor, shook his head and flew up into the sky, disappearing into the void of space. "I care not for your games," his voice echoed far away, like the wind howling through the stars. Only Mephisto and the Morningstar remained, standing face to face under the clear blue sky, the gentle breeze blowing the Morningstar's golden hair and Mephisto's black robe. The Morningstar, with his huge black wings spread out, golden light radiating from his body, smiled coldly. "Mephisto, you have caused enough trouble. The universe does not need your hell anymore." His voice was deep, carrying a power that made the surrounding air heavy, as if the entire earth was holding its breath. He stepped forward, each step leaving a golden light trail on the cracked ground, the surrounding plants and trees blooming under the influence of the power that shaped reality. Mephisto narrowed his eyes, summoning the remnants of his power. He created a ring of hellfire around the Morningstar. The crimson flames blazed up high, licking the air with crackling sounds. "You think you can defeat me here? This is not your dimension." He raised his hand, manipulating local reality, turning the ground under the Morningstar's feet into a deep pit of boiling lava, bubbles splashing like rain of fire. But the Morningstar just waved his hand lightly. The golden light spread, extinguishing the hellfire like a match. The lava pit solidified, turning into a flat ground with white flowers blooming. "You are only strong in your hell, Mephisto. As for me, I shape the universe." He spread his wings, creating a golden light that covered the entire area, making Mephisto feel his power being drained, like a dry river under the summer sun. Mephisto tried to counterattack, summoning Johnny Blaze and Robbie Reyes from the pocket dimension. The two Ghost Riders appeared, their skulls glowing brightly, hot iron chains swinging, Robbie's car roaring forward. Johnny whipped the chains at the Morningstar, the hellfire exploded, but he only smiled, separating both of their souls from their bodies. Johnny and Robbie's souls floated in the air, the fire fading, then dissipated like morning mist. Driven to his wits' end, Mephisto resorted to trickery. He created an illusion of Michael, the Morningstar's brother, with glowing white wings and a gleaming sword of light. "Brother, stop," the illusion said, its voice ringing like church bells. But the Morningstar saw through it, his deep blue eyes sparkling. "Cheap trick, Mephisto. Michael is not here." He raised his hand, dispelling the illusion, then lunged forward, grabbing Mephisto by the collar of his cloak. With near omnipotent power, the Morningstar shaped reality, shrinking Mephisto's pocket dimension into a tiny crystal ball in the palm of his hand. Hell shook, caves collapsed, rivers of lava dried up, and screaming souls fell silent. Mephisto, now as feeble as a ghost, fell to his knees, his red skin pale, his horns drooping. "You have won," he whispered, his voice as faint as a breeze. The Morningstar looked down, the golden light fading. "Go, and don't come back." He threw the crystal ball into the void, sending Mephisto back to his corrupted hell. Mephisto disappeared in a burst of black smoke, leaving Earth in peace.